Alrighty, YouTube. Let's do another relationship rant. Let's delve into, things about emotional healing in this rant in regards to relationships and whatnot. Now, those who watch my channel know that I'm often ranting about things like Kundalini, health, the Merkaba, the meridians, the health benefits of fasting and grounding yourself, getting electrons up into the feet, into your physiology, you name it, from the earth. The earth is a giant electron donor, but let's get away from these subjects for a while and delve into some new stuff. I like finding new topics to discuss, and this is a really interesting topic to me, so let's discuss some relationship type stuff. I think that a relationship can be one of the most profound healing experiences and connections that you'll ever experience if you have the right relationship. And there's a fine line between a good relationship and a bad relationship. So I think a lot of us jump into relationships without really watching for red flags and being aware of certain things that stick out. I think it's common for us to, let's take a seat. I think it's common for us to ignore red flags because we allow ourselves to use our brain instead of our heart when it comes to our decision-making processes, when it comes to finding a partner. So it can be really easy to just dive headfirst into something without really meditating about it or really doing some proper prior planning. Excuse me. So I am in a very healthy relationship right now. I love this woman, and it's taken me a long time, almost just about 28 years to find what I was looking for. So I waited a long time in my life, you guys. I was celibate I'm just going to be honest with you guys. By the time I was 25 years old, I'd had sex about 3 times, and that was when I was 24. So a little over 24. So I was celibate pretty much my entire adult life. I never found someone that I felt I could resonate with or communicate with to the degree that I wished I could. So sometimes waiting is a very important thing. Sometimes it's something that requires you to learn patience, but patience is indeed a virtue. So a few people, have gotten upset at the fact that I pace in my videos. Pacing allows me to move in motion with my thoughts. So if you don't like my pacing, you can just close the video out and move on. But again, you guys, I think a lot of us jump into situations that aren't salubrious for our growth emotionally, mentally, and physically. And a good relationship can nourish you emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. So, at the end of the day, who wants to go through this world alone? Or this experience, this life alone? I know I don't. I want to be able to share with someone. I want to be able to communicate with someone. I want to be able to learn from someone. I don't want to be, by myself like a hermit my whole life. I practically was my entire adult life, and it paid off. I think if I would have jumped into situations that I could have when I was much younger in regards to relationships, I don't think I would be the person that I am today. Staying celibate for so long allowed me to be by myself long enough so that I could realize exactly what it is that I wanted, not only for my own self, but in a relationship, in life, etc. So, I've got a little bit of cantaloupe here, you guys. Cantaloupe is one of my favorite foods. You want to spice it up a little bit, you can add a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. Might sound weird, but it really is quite yummy. Pink Himalayan salt is full of minerals. It's completely different than white table salt. I also wanted to recommend a book really quick for people who are interested in learning more about Kundalini. This is The Serpent Grail by, God, what's the guy's name? His name's not on the book. I lost the jacket, so it is what it is. But after being by myself, let's rephrase this. After going the duration of my life without being in a relationship, I'd gotten to a point where I was pretty damn stressed out, and I needed to undertake a lot of emotional healing, and that's what I've found. I've found someone who listens to me, who cares about me, and who is committed to me. Isn't that what everybody wants? I know that's sure as hell what I want. And that's most likely what you want. Which brings me to my next subject. I wanted to talk about cheating. The health consequences of cheating are innumerable, not only physically, potentially physically, but emotionally and mentally and spiritually. So, I don't understand cheating at all. I've done some stuff in the past that was questionable, but I learned from it, and I'll never do it again. We can either choose to learn from our mistakes, or we can dwell on them and never use them as stepping stones. But I'm at a point in my life where I want commitment, and I think that's essentially what everybody wants. I don't understand why people cheat. I don't understand why you wouldn't just end the relationship instead of putting someone else's emotions on the chopping block. Because usually if you love someone and they end up cheating on you, it's like your heart goes all the way down into your stomach. It's a horrible feeling. And it would be better if people just ended it instead of sneaking around behind the scenes. Because chances are, if you're cheating on someone, you don't want to be with them. Chances are, if you're cheating on someone, you really don't love them the way that you may think you love them. Cheating is dangerous also because, let's face it, you guys, 1 in 4 males has genital herpes, 1 in 5 females has genital herpes. The STD, sexually transmitted disease statistics here in 2017 are through the roof. They're the worst they've ever been. So you could have a partner, you could be in a relationship where the both of you are clean, you don't have any STDs, and you go and fool around with someone and pick up something without you consciously recognizing it. Then you could go back, have sexual relations with your partner who is clean, and transfer that to him or her. That is some bad karma. To sneak around while you tell someone you love them, pick up an STD, and transfer it to your partner. Do you really want that on your conscience? And let me tell you, you guys, in the next 10 years, unless there's some type of crazy medical breakthrough, the STDs statistics are just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. So not only do you put yourself at risk when you cheat, but you put your partner at risk when you cheat as well. Not only physically, but emotionally and mentally. And I do believe there is a spiritual consequence to cheating. So, again, I've made mistakes in the past. I've learned from them. I'm a completely different person than I am now. It's really essentially what we do with our mistakes that defines whether we learn from them or not. But just a crazy world, you guys. Crazy, crazy world. I know people who cheat on their partners all the time. I knew people through high school that used to do it all the time. And to see them not even give a fuck, it's like, are you that shallow that you're not even putting someone's emotions into factor when you go around and sneak around and do this shit? I don't get it. But a healthy relationship can be one of the most emotionally healing things because it can feel so good to share your life with someone. It feels so good to have someone listen to you and kind of hear you out. It gets to a point where if you're in the right relationship, you're going to flourish. But there's so many people who think that they're in healthy relationships and actually believe it when they're not. So I'm going to do a multiple part series on the whole cheating thing and whatnot and the relationships. And I think it's a fun avenue, an interesting avenue to explore via video making. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. On behalf of the Sacred Starseed Serpent Uraeus YouTube channel, thank you for watching this video. I hope that my videos, my channel, my messages, you name it, can help inspire you to do something positive today for your health, whether that be getting a water filter, getting some herbs, changing your diet a little bit, taking baby steps. Baby steps are one of the most valuable tools that you can utilize for attaining greater health. Instead of trying to go from point A to point B overnight, for some people, it can be much more effective to just modulate and augment your diet slowly over time. That way you don't get a lot of the detox symptoms from altering your diet too rapidly, you name it. Because oftentimes when people try to go vegan overnight or this and that, it can lead to a whiplash effect where they dive too quickly into it, and the symptoms that they experience, the headaches, you name it, from changing your diet from a non-optimal food source to an optimal one, can make people actually go back to their old dietary habits, because many people aren't cognizant to the fact that these are only temporary symptoms from changing your shitty diet to a quality diet. Peace be with you all. I love you, Heather.